Hello. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a copy of and also filter for your own PE exercise data. So what we're looking at here is this spreadsheet that has a few charts on this, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how this is and how it's working. But we see some exercise fitness data from this student, Aaron Bake. And this information is actually being pulled from your teacher's master spreadsheet. So your teachers, Mr. Quaid, Mrs. Kelly, and Mr. Ball, are inputting this data on their sheet, which will then pop over to yours. So, for example, Aaron's just first right here. If, for example, Mr. Quaid notes that she does 14 push-ups during quarter two, we'll see that this information will pop up here in a few seconds right here. So she has 11 here, 14, and maybe she does like 15 here in quarter three. So this information is really nice because it pulls data together in a way that allows you to look at it and analyze it quickly. So what I want to do is show you first of all how to make a copy of it, and then I also want to show you how to filter for your own data. So like most Google apps, what you're going to do is you're going to go to File, and you're going to make a copy, and I'm just going to go OK. And as soon as you make a copy of this, it's important that you make this visible to your teacher. So make sure to share it. So if your teacher is Mr. Quaid or Miss Kelly or Mr. Ball, make sure to share that with them. Another thing also, since I've just made a copy of this, this is just making a copy of Aaron's data, and I want to make copies of yours. So I think it's best to kind of rename this, and also this might take a while because there's a lot of formulas working here. But let's say, for example, that I'm Alex Chung, and I want to filter for my information here. And I'm just going to go rename this my PE exercise data. I'm going to call this Alex Chung. And now I need to filter it for my information if I was Alex. Now you might think that you put your name right here, but actually you don't. The place that you do put your data is right up here. So there's this formula that's pulling data from your teacher's master spreadsheet. And I also want to have you guys pay close attention to how it's formatted. You see there's no space between Alex's first name and last name. It's really important that your name appear exactly like it does here in column A. There are some spaces here, like we see, for example, on line 5, that the student here, Jason, has a space between Guan Wu and Jason. So if there is a space, please keep that. But if there's no space, you need to respect that. So coming back to Alex's spreadsheet, I'm going to paste his name right up here. And by doing so, it'll override Aaron's data, and now look for his. So now, if I pop open that, you'll see that Alex's name pops up here along with this gender. And if, for example, then Mr. Quaid pops in that Alex has done 10 push-ups, then we'll see Alex will reveal over here that he has 10 push-ups in quarter two. So that was the first lesson. Making a copy of and sharing the spreadsheet with your teachers. And once you do that, filter for your name by changing it up here in the formula section of your spreadsheet. Welcome back. On part 2 of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to embed these PE charts into your Google site. So these PE charts I showed you how to make a copy of for and filter for on the last tutorial by putting in your name and making a copy of this and sharing it with your teacher. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to embed these on your site. We're not going to take like screenshots of these. We're going to actually embed these charts so that any subsequent changes that the teacher puts into their spreadsheet will appear on your data charts, and then also on your site for easy reference for you to make PE fitness goals. So this is a new version of Google Sites, and I also just kind of quickly made this for this tutorial. And so let's say if I'm Alex Chung, maybe I have some pages up here that say fitness test. You can add it on that page anywhere you want. But let's say I'm going to add these charts on my site. So how do I do that? So you click down the content area where you want to insert, and you're going to scroll down. This is what it normally looks like, and you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom to this little icon that says charts. Now charts are in spreadsheets, so normally Google Drive will scan for spreadsheets that have charts in them. And most typically this will be the most recent thing you've been working on. So I'm just going to click this, and once I do that, what it's also going to do is it's going to pull up an example of this. So here I'm just making sure this is actually the spreadsheet that I want, and I'm just going to select. If you want to put maybe something that's in different pages, you can, and I'm going to select these. I'm going to go add. So now I have done this, and it takes a second or two for this to populate up. But we can see now Alex had these embedded on his sites, and to also go back to the this is the master spreadsheet that your teachers have. When they input this data here, it will also then embed on your site. So the spreadsheet here that was just embedded from the spreadsheet that Alex made a copy of will then eventually update with third quarter push-ups. I might have to just refresh that. But once that's done and you publish this to your site, you'll be able to see and kind of share that learning with your peers, and also look back on your physical fitness kind of over the course of the year and make goals and adjust them accordingly. So happy Googling, and if you have any questions, stop by the Fishbowl for help.